दक्षिणामूर्ति समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपराम्. Namaste. This talk will be a brief introduction of the very important Prakarana Grantha of Advaita Vedanta, namely Panchadasi of Sri Vidyaranya Swami. Vidyaranya Swamiji was the head of Sringeri Sharda Pita from 1377 to 1386 AD. And Panchadashi is one of the works attributed to him. Vidyaranya Swami was also the Rajaguru and the Prime Minister of the Vijayanagara Empire. He played a very important role in the formation of the Vijayanagara Empire by Harihara and Bukka. The Panchadashi is a comprehensive manual of Advaita Vedanta. It is so named because it consists of 15 chapters. The fundamental teachings of Advaita are presented in this work in a very clear and lucid manner. It is one of the best texts not only for beginners in Advaita, but also, as it is very profound, it is very useful even to very experienced practitioners and advanced students of Advaita also. The 15 chapters of Panchadashi are divided into 3 groups of 5 chapters each. Brahman is described in the Upanishads as Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness and bliss. The first group of 5 chapters deals with the existence or Sat aspect of Brahman. The second group deals with the Chit or the consciousness aspect of Brahman. And the third group deals with the Ananda or the bliss aspect of Brahman. Advaita holds that Brahman is the only reality, and reality is defined as that which does not undergo any change at any time, past, present or future. And since Brahman, which is absolutely changeless and eternal, it can be considered as the only real thing. The prapancha or the world keeps on changing all the time, so it cannot be considered as real. But at the same time, we cannot dismiss it as unreal, because the world is actually experienced by us. To explain this, the example of a rope being mistaken for a snake in dim light is used. The snake, which is so seen, produces reactions like fear, sweating, etc. in the same manner as a real snake would. Hence, it cannot be considered as totally unreal. At the same time, on examination with the help of a light, it is found that the snake never existed and only the rope was there all the time. The snake cannot be described as both real and unreal, because these two contradictory qualities cannot exist in the same substance simultaneously. So since the snake is neither real nor unreal, Advaita uses a term called as mithya. So just as the snake appears because of our ignorance of the fact that there is only the rope, this Jagat or world also appears to exist because of our ignorance of Brahman. Thus the Jagat is also neither real nor unreal. It is also mithya. Just as the snake is superimposed on the rope, the world or Jagat is also superimposed on Brahman. Our ignorance of Brahman is what is called as avidya or ajnana. And this projects the world as a reality. The world has no reality apart from Brahman, in the same way as the snake has no reality apart from the rope. And when the knowledge of Brahman arises due to jnana, the world is seen as a mere appearance of Brahman. In the same way, there are many other examples given, like that of gold. Ornaments made of gold come in different sizes and shapes, but their underlying reality is gold only. There may be a gold formed in the form of a bangle, in the form of a earring, and so on. But the reality is gold. Due to ajnana, we perceive differences and we see in polarities as either favorable or unfavorable, and we try to make efforts to retain what is favorable, and we try to get rid or avoid of things which we consider as unfavorable. All such things come to an end when jnana arises. This state of liberation can be had even while living, and which is called as the state of Jivan Mukti. The Jiva or individual is Brahman itself, but because of identification with the body, mind and senses, Deha, Manas and Indriya, the Jiva looks upon itself as different from Brahman and as a limited being, which is subject to joys and sorrows caused by external factors. This identification with the body, mind and senses, Deha, Manas and Indriyas, is what is called as bandha, bondage. In reality, the Jiva is pure Brahman and is different from the body-mind complex. When this truth is realized, the identification with the body-mind complex ceases. This is liberation or moksha. Moksha or liberation is not the attainment of a state which did not exist previously, but is the recognition of what one has always been. Recognition of what has always been with us. The illusory snake never existed. Even when the snake was seen, what existed was only the rope. Similarly, bondage has no real existence at all. Even when we are ignorant of Brahman and think of ourselves as limited by the body, we are really nothing but the infinite Brahman only. So liberation is the removal of the wrong identification with the body, mind and senses. And this moksha, liberation or Jivan Mukti is the goal of human life according to the Upanishads. Now, what conceals this Brahman and projects the universe is known as Maya or Prakriti or Avidya. Sri Vidyaranya Swami says that Maya can be looked upon from three different standpoints. From the ordinary, worldly individual standpoint, who looks upon the world as real, Maya is the cause of appearance of the world and is real. Maya is considered as real. For the enlightened person who has realized his identity with Brahman, Maya does not exist at all. And for the person, the middle path of person who is the sadhaka, the person who attempts to understand Maya through reasoning, Maya is indeterminable or anirvachaniya, because it can neither be described as either real or unreal, nor both. Now, there is a wrong notion that according to Advaita, the world is a mere illusion. What Advaita says is the world is not real in the sense in which Brahman is real. Advaita accepts three orders of reality, three satyams: Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharika Satyam, and Pratibhasika Satyam. Brahman, which is eternal and changeless, is the absolute reality and is known as the Paramarthika Satya. The world, which has empirical reality, is known as Vyavaharika Satya, which means that as long as a person who has not become free from avidya and has not realized his true nature as Brahman, the world is real for him. In other words, until a person realizes that he is not the body, mind or senses, but Brahman, the world is real for him. And the object of Vedanta is to make such a person give up his wrong identification with the body, mind and senses and realize his true nature. The third Satya, which is called as Pratibhasika Satya, consists of such cases where the rope appears as a snake or dream experiences. Though the experiences, it is not based on a fact, it appears to be real when we are experiencing it, like in a dream. Now coming to the first chapter, which is called as Tattva Viveka, or the discriminative knowledge of the ultimate reality. Now, before the commencement of any work, the Sambandha Chatusthaya is to be grasped, namely the Vishaya, Prayojana, Adhikari and the Sambandha. Vishaya means the subject matter of the work. Prayojana means the purpose of the work. Adhikari means the person for whom it is intended, the Prakarana Grantha. And the Sambandha is the connection of this work with Vedanta. So generally it is like a bird's eye view of what is the utility of that particular Prakarana Grantha. So the subject matter of Panchadashi or the Vishaya of Panchadashi can be said to be revealing the identity of the Jivatman and the Paramatma. The purpose or prayojana of this work can be said to be the destruction of the primal ignorance, destruction of avidya, which leads to jnana. And who is the adhikari? or the person for whom this work is intended. It is the person who has attained purity of mind. And the sambandha or the connection of this work is with Vedanta is that Panchadasi clarifies the teachings of the Upanishads for the better understanding of the Adhikari. So this covers the preliminary areas of Panchadasi as a sort of a brief introduction. In the next video, we will enter into the first chapter, Tattva Viveka, in little more detail. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.